Well, happy Aloha Friday, everyone. We are back for another week to explore and introduce to you a very interesting person that's in our community. She's a co-founder at Mana Up and president of the Hawaii Venture Capital Association. She's from Honolulu and graduated from Punahou School. Also a graduate of an entrepreneur in residence at Cornell University. Prior to Mana Up, she worked in Silicon Valley in the tech startup world for over 10 years, wanting to move back home and create job opportunities for locals. Together with her co-founder, Brittany Hyde, they came up with the concept of Mana Up. Please welcome our guest, Meli James.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for coming on. And we're also looking forward to having you as a guest on our radio show this weekend. But yeah, it's very nice to put the voice and the face together here in this live format. So Meli, so you graduated from Punahou, ventured out to the mainland, wanted to come back. Tell us like the just like that origin story. Like how did you come up with this concept, and where are we today?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, I went to high school in Hawaii, left for college, and then, kind of felt like there was this unspoken thing where you couldn't come back if you were going to do something different, as opposed to a more traditional industry. And so I felt like I had to go to the mainland. I did that. I lived in Silicon Valley, started a couple startups, and fell in love with entrepreneurship and startups and this concept of being able to create an idea and build a business around it. And how amazing is that, where you can do that anywhere. And so after a few years, after I had started one of my first companies, I decided, hey, what can I do to contribute to an innovation, entrepreneurship, startup ecosystem in Hawaii so I can help others not feel like there's more opportunity here in the islands to really take any idea and to bring it to life, to create jobs and opportunity in the islands. And so that's really how Mana Up was created, was this idea of how do we create resources, mentorship, and access to capital to entrepreneurs that are based here in various industries to help fuel them to be able to scale and grow, and of course, grow our economy.
So speaking of opportunities, I know that before we went live, we were talking about some upcoming opportunities for young entrepreneurs. Let's touch on that.
Yeah. So we are recruiting right now for our cohort 8. Every year we host a cohort program. It's 6 months. And it's essentially, we select 10 to 12 companies where they go through a rigorous 6-month program where there's workshops, one-on-one resources, where we help them solve their business challenges. So that could be anything from logistics, marketing, finance, all the different aspects of business that can be so challenging. But really the companies that we're looking for are one in the consumer brand space. So these are companies that are elevating the brand of Hawaii. They're a CPG company. So anything from retail, like this top I'm wearing is one of our companies, jewelry, value-add food products like cookies, jerky, health and beauty products, as well as home products, all that are elevating the brand of Hawaii, that are headquartered here, are at 100,000 or more in annual revenue, so that they're ready to scale and want to grow globally. So yes.
Well, and then Adrian, and then I know I come in midstream here, and thank you so much, Mel, for being on the show. But I've been in the shop at the Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center. I spent some money over there.
Thank you.
And I got my Kuleana shirt.
I've been in there too. Yes.
Yeah, and Adrian's bought some stuff. You know what I got a lot of comments on for whoever makes that? It's like a mashup between a Western shirt and an Aloha shirt.
Yes. Oh, so you bought a Western Aloha shirt.
Yeah. And I got so many comments on it.
Yeah, that company's doing really well. They're based in Waimea. Paul was part of, I think, cohort 4. But yeah, so our House of Mana Up store, we now have 4 locations. I think you folks have been to our Royal Hawaiian Center store in Waikiki, or maybe our new Prince Hotel store that just opened 2 months ago. So those are our 2 locations in Waikiki. We actually have 2 on the Big Island on Hawaii, Mauna Kea Beach Hotel and Mauna Loa Visitor Center. But that was an extension really of our program. How do we create more opportunities for the companies to do storytelling? And can a store like this thrive and exist on Kalakaua Avenue on the ground floor with neighbors like Hermes and Tiffany? And we're proving out that people love it and they want to buy local. And it's been a really, really great experience so far.
And you guys lasted through COVID, because I think that when we first visited, it was in the middle of the whole COVID So
Oh
you
yeah.
thriving even more.
Yeah, we opened December of 2019, if you could believe that.
Oh wow, what
So
timing.
yeah, we closed down for about 6 months, but then reopened basically 6 months after COVID kind of came in, and really online, and that's where we really hit our online store. So houseofmanaup.com is our online store, and that was really impactful for not only us but our companies we work with to be able to continue to move inventory and connect with people who love Hawaii throughout the world, who want to buy gifts and can't come into a store physically, to be able to access.
You know, and commenting as a local client, you know, local people, we like to shop local, support local, because we know that the economic multiplier effect of that dollar is greater than where everybody else go, Costco. And so because nothing wrong, I mean, I love Costco, but that profit is going to the mainland. And but I love the concept. And I when people come visit, we like taking them there because, Adrian, what's our experience? Because we've been everywhere. We've been to Tahiti, we've been to Thailand, we've been to Belize, but what are we always looking for as tourists ourselves? We're looking for the local stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to go pick up something that I can get at Costco. I don't want to go get something I can get at Target. I want something that I can bring home with me that's memories and that is made locally and reminds me of that place I visited. So I think for the visitor,
supporting that local
yeah,
artist and entrepreneur. I think
you
that's
know, maybe this is
very
speaking to me
important.
being an alcoholic, but I always like to drink the local beer. So
Yeah, and the local rum. Don't forget, we have Kohana rum.
yeah, awesome. But what else, Adrian or Mel?
Oh, so we were also talking about, like, yes, like we're talking about, they have shirts and all sorts of local products, but you know, like we're in real estate and we love giving closing gifts.
Yeah.
Now I know that there's some kind of unique things that could be used as a closing gift or a housewarming gift.
Yeah, so really our sets are our key element in the store. So we have 74 companies that have come through Mana Up. We have over 4,000 products. And so we really curate different theme set for, like, you know, creating that really lovely warm home with like that wonderful candle and a couple kitchen things like a Meli wraps, which is helping to eliminate the use of single-use plastics. So really cool sets that really help to create that housewarming gift that can come from 5 to 7 different entrepreneurs. But the really key part of it as well is that storytelling that comes with each set. So each product, we tell the story of the entrepreneur and what the product is. So it's really nice. To your point earlier, it was around, like, you know, how do people feel connected? How do they feel that they get to taste those products, but also learn a little bit more about Hawaii, learn a little bit more about who the entrepreneur is, what their story is. And those other things really make you feel connected.
And you know what? For you local guys, who maybe every year come Valentine's Day, you bomb out because you're like, what? Why you got me that? I don't like that. And for you ladies too, because we're gonna be with both of you on that. But you guys have, I noticed, a whole bunch of Valentine's stuff coming up from the featured retailer.
Yes. Yeah, so we're always coming up with new sets, but it's exciting for this year with our next cohort coming in. We're going to be bringing in 10 more companies. So there's always kind of new products and new flavors that the entrepreneurs are developing. And so we love helping to continue to tell those deeper stories of who they are and what they're doing, which is really exciting.
So for you ladies out there, get them the man cave snacks.
Yeah. We got beef jerky, we have venison jerky, we have fish jerky. We have like every possible jerky possible, including ulu chips. If you like ulu and you like chips, just know it's better for you than potato chips, but it's still carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Okay, so Meli, for the you're talking about the next, that there's room for 10 new entrepreneurs. Have you filled any of those spaces? And like, when is the cutoff? When's the deadline?
Yeah. So we're doing an open call for applications. I believe the cutoff is later in February, but people definitely have the next few weeks to apply and to check out more of what we're doing. We have some info sessions coming up as well. But yeah, so we're excited. We haven't filled any of the spots left. We'll be doing interviews starting in the beginning of March. So people definitely have a few more weeks to apply. It's a very short application, nothing crazy essays or anything like going to college or something.
Well, we know we have our listener base, a lot of entrepreneurs. We know a lot of entrepreneurs tune in. Other entrepreneurs like realtors, and realtors, sometimes we need a side hustle and maybe a career change. So this might be an opportunity for them. But Adrian, you had a question.
So Meli, like with you're now on the 8th cohort, so you had 7 previously. Is there any one like businesses or entrepreneurs in particular that really stand out as far as like a success story that you can share?
Yeah, we've had quite a few actually. It's been really neat to see Manoa Chocolate came in our first cohort, and many of you know just the growth of that company, being in so many Whole Foods stores, and growing with their retail growth, but also just their product development. They actually now have a wine bar for all of us that like to drink wine, in Kailua with a chocolate tasting. So it's just been really neat to see that product development kind of happening. Big Island Coffee Roasters is another one. They started off being an amazing coffee company and did product development where they created an edible coffee bar that has no chocolate in it. It's just sugar, coffee, and cocoa butter. It's got actually, I think, 3 espresso shots in the bar. So be careful. Don't eat it before bed. You'll be vacuuming your house till like 3 in the morning or something. If that's maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But that's really neat just because Hawaii's always been known for our coffee. So why would we not be the innovators in creating new product lines that's leveraging that cachet of our famous Hawaiian coffee? So those are the kinds of things we get really excited about. And also our companies are growing 33% annually growth rate each year on average. And the companies represented about 61 million in revenue to the state of Hawaii. So this is a growing industry, about 415 jobs. And we're really thrilled to be supporting a consumer brands industry, brands that are really helping to tell the story of Hawaii, high quality companies that are getting recognized globally. Like Big Island Coffee Roasters, I just mentioned, won best hotel coffee in the world by Condé Nast. The hotel coffee in the Four Seasons Hualalai. So these companies aren't winning like the best in Hawaii. It's like the best in the world, competing globally. And that is so exciting from a quality standpoint and really being best in class here.
Nice. Adrian, you had another question?
So Meli, I know that we looked on the website and we see like your Valentine's Day specials. Do you have any other seasonal sales or specials that maybe our viewers should be aware of that are coming up?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, our Valentine's is coming up, but also we've got a wellness box that we're doing in February. So kind of a new year, new you. So a lot of our companies, there's a lot of themes around wellness and health. So, I mean, it can still taste delicious, but also a lot of the quality products, 60% of our companies are sourcing a local ingredient in their product mix. So that's really special when we think about agriculture here and regenerative ag and how we're supporting farming. But really those like high quality ingredients. So even some of the facial products we have, just all like organic and some from the Big Island. So it's all really good stuff from a health standpoint. Mother's Day is always a big one. So definitely keep a lookout in May for Mother's Day. But we also have our cohort that will be launching in May as well. So as we announce our next 10 companies, definitely be on the lookout for those newest entrepreneurs that are joining Mana Up, many of which people haven't heard about before.
Yeah. And I want to, let me see if I can do this screen share real quick. I wanted to talk, a lot of times people hear about, we hear about organizations, and I forgot the business person that I heard this from, but you take a look at the product. Maybe know what their business plan is, but the most important ingredient is who are the people. So any dirt, no, I'm just kidding. Any special stories that you have on any of these entrepreneurs that we have here on this page?
Yeah. So just as I'm looking up at the top one, Alexis Akiona from Lex Breezy, she's just an incredible entrepreneur who her mother started Simply Sisters. And so that's been a really famous brand for quite some time. But really, so many of our companies, almost all of them actually, have a give back program as part of their local business. So they're really giving back to the community. And that's something that we're big believers in as local people. We know best how to give back to our own community and how do we help build more businesses that can do that as well. So for her, she actually just started a scholarship fund with Honolulu Community College to support more Native Hawaiian people in the fashion industry who are looking to go to school. So to me, that's just such a neat story as she went through that program, got so much out of it, and is now funding scholarship programs to help more Native Hawaiian fashion people getting into fashion. Another great story is We've got JT O'Hario with Aloha de Mele. If you could scroll down a little bit more, she should be the top one. Yeah, with the flower in her ear. Really neat. Or she just opened her Studio Hale, which is in the Gold Bond building, really to support more local printing and our ability to be able to do high-end printing with different local artists. So that's been really neat. So her as an artist, she's got her gorgeous product. I mean, her stuff is just blowing up everywhere. And actually, it's a really good to have for staging homes too, if anyone's interested. Her layers with the Puakenekene lay right there is super, super popular, but just really pulls different homes well together. But just her building infrastructure to support other artists and this creative industry here by starting her Studio Hale, her own print shop to support them. That's another great story. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say back to Labrizi with her, and I don't know if he coined the term, but I know the CEO of the what's the shoes again, Adrian? Tom Shoes. Do you know what the marketing is with Tom Shoes? Do you remember what it is? And
is it like every shoe you buy, they donate shoes to
third world country?
Yeah, third world country.
Yeah, so celebrities started getting the shoes. Everybody started. The shoes became real, and it's a multi-million-dollar company. But we read his book, and it's called For Benefit Marketing. And they did a study, and share this with your cohorts. And you maybe already know this, but when a consumer sees two products or services or businesses, and they cannot differentiate between the two, 95% of the time they go with the company that's giving back to the community. Yoplait yogurt with the pink lids to collect for breast cancer, their sales went up. And it's not, there's nothing wrong with supporting the community, but you still got to be in business, because I always say that for-profit businesses are where the money comes from for the nonprofits. Yeah. So they got to work together, and that for benefit marketing is a great reason. It's not the reason why we give back, but it's definitely a benefit or a win-win for us entrepreneurs and business owners. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, and a big part of it is the storytelling. So we work a lot with the companies on how do they share that succinctly, because no one's got 10 minutes to hear your story, right? Yeah. They're cruising through the aisles.
10 seconds.
Yeah, or 10 seconds. And then, what's nice is we have these lovely devices here, and Instagram, TikTok have been really great channels where in moments someone can see who's the founder, what do they stand for? Do those values align with mine? And am I going to go ahead and reach out and grab that product and consume it, right? So that is very powerful, which wasn't the case, 10 years ago, right? Most of the discovery was happening through word of mouth, or you're in the grocery aisle. Nowadays, we're just on our phones all the time. So that's a totally different way of storytelling. And it's actually leveling the playing field for a lot of our local entrepreneurs who are on the mainland in some of these bigger big box stores. But we're seeing a lot more local sentiment happening globally with trends, with authenticity, connection to culture, transparency, and all those things are helping more local companies get a leg up.
So Meli, you're giving them coaching and training on how to, I guess, tell their story across the different social
and how to execute.
Platforms.
Yeah. Everyone's got different business challenges. So when they come through our program, we have different workshops in different categories that everyone has challenge with, like digital marketing or logistics or something like that. But then we also have our one-on-one sessions, and we create a list with the companies very specifically for what we're working on just with them, which are just one-on-one. We can be really different with our introductions we're making.
I really like you guys' program, and why I wanted to promote it. How I heard about you guys is I was in the gym, and you never know what marketing works. I was in the gym, and they don't have the audio on, so I'm just seeing you being interviewed and the closed caption. And I'm like, wait a minute, that place helps incubate business owners. Never even knew that as a retail customer. So I said, we got to have you on the show to help you guys spread the word. What I like about it is, I've been to the universities and all these higher education things, and they do have entrepreneurial programs. And my mom went through one, and I know people that have gone through. But statistically, what I find is probably 80% of the people spend 6 months creating a business plan, and they don't do anything with it. So I'm glad to see you guys are like the execution, right?
Hands-on execution. Yeah. Let's just get this done.
Yeah, and that's why we target companies that are over 100,000 or more in sales. They've gotten over that initial hurdle, and they're ready to scale.
Yeah, they're ready to scale. That's the key, is they're ready to scale. Would you find, what is the number one challenge that we'll wrap it up with one or two more questions, and then We're keeping this the length of a TED Talk. But what would you say is commonly the number one challenge that these entrepreneurs have?
Yeah, I'd say with Hawaii, we're naturally well, one, cost of goods, and just there's so many basic challenges because we're an island chain in the middle of the Pacific, right? So everything's more expensive. And when things are more expensive, there's only so many decisions you can make that might be not ideal, right?
Yeah.
It's all about time and money, right? So there's only so many decisions you can make that don't go in your favor that could be devastating for a company. But one of the things we're seeing a lot with entrepreneurs is creating that mindset shift that we can go big and we can go big from Hawaii. And that has been very game changing. We try to bring in different leaders who've gone big before to create more of that connectivity with more of our entrepreneurs and CEOs to basically go big or go home.
Yeah. So when you guys bring on these guys, do these people to present their business plan? Is it like a Shark Tank environment? And you got local people like, you know what? Here's our offer. No.
No, well, we actually have our own venture fund through Mana
Gotcha.
Up. We do invest in some of the companies, but only ones that are looking for capital.
Yeah.
But no, it's not really like a Shark Tank. It's more like we have certain people coming in for certain skill set based learning.
Yeah.
So maybe it's on e-commerce, or if it's more leadership, like for example, we had Ed Schultz come in, who's the head of Mauna Loa and Hawaiian Host. So he's running a very big company that we all know Hawaiian Host. And so how do our entrepreneurs and our founders get to talk to him as a CEO and a founder himself, and how he thinks about problem solving, how he's dealt with these different challenges. So it really helps to create that mindset and connectivity that they'll have and kind of spread, that purview.
Yeah. I think Adrian and I, we do a lot of business coaching with people outside of real estate because there's a lot of resources within real estate for running a business. And what we find is the number one challenge is they have that creativity, but it's that business acumen that's lacking, and they kind of and then plateau. So I'm glad that you're helping fill that gap and keep these people motivated and tell them this is how you do it and this is what you need to do and here's your weaknesses and here's your strengths. So good job. Thank you so much
and the beauty with when they get bigger is they can start hiring to fill the gap, so they don't have to.
There you go. Yeah. We always say.
Well, Meli, thank you so much for being on our Friday Live. Yeah. And looking forward to having you on our radio show as well. To get the word out, we got to help fill that cohort with additional entrepreneurs that are going to just take off.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna exit with our little video, kind of like KHON at the end of the news. So all right, take us home, Sheen.